It is 2 in the morning. Hogwarts Legacy launched in early access about 4 hours ago for me, and I have been playing it non-stop since that moment in a private members-only stream on our live channel. Long story short, if you want to check it out, just search Luke Stevens Live in the search bar, blah, blah, blah. You've heard me say it before. The reason I'm staying up so late to do this instead of just waiting till tomorrow like a normal adult, especially somebody who has like a kid and a wife at home, is because I simply want to play it now, and I'm impatient. But more specifically, I want to get my thoughts on this game out as early as possible because I know a lot of you guys were hoping for a review from me. And as you know, I was in active conversations with Warner Brothers and they just didn't send a code. I was under the impression they would, and then they didn't. I can't explain it. Other reviewers on YouTube didn't get it. It is what it is. No big deal. We're here though now with the game running on the PlayStation 5 and giving it a shot to see whether or not it's actually worth your dollar. And at this point, after going through all of the introductory sections of the game, after getting acquainted with the combat system, after getting acquainted with world exploration, the styles of everything in this game, I mean, there's just so much to tackle. So I'm going to try to give my overarching thoughts in a semi-coherent way. Keep this video a little bit shorter. We're going to do a comprehensive review on Friday, and of course a big critique of this game, breaking down every single little element within the next 2 weeks probably. So comprehensive thoughts will be there, but this is my overarching thoughts after getting my feet wet in the game. And before anybody says anything, yeah, I still hate the DualSense Edge. I had to plug it in because the battery life is so terrible. It would have died 2 times over in the middle of the live stream we did that was 4 hours long because it's a battery hog and they shrunk the battery. So you know what? It is what it is. I'm trying to like it, but I just don't. Now let me preface all of this by simply saying that I am a proud skeptic. I do not believe things until there is adequate evidence to believe that thing. And in the case of video games, I don't believe that a game is worth your money until I've seen evidence to prove that point. And when there's red flags, when there's concerning things going on with the game, it can still end up really good, but that should start to get you a little bit more critical, a little bit more skeptical, and you should withhold your money until your opinion has been concretely confirmed to be in one camp or the other based on the evidence. In the case of Hogwarts Legacy, there were some warning signs going into this. It's a studio that hadn't developed something of this scale. It's of a franchise that of course has extremely high expectations surrounding it. It's technologically a very difficult game to pull off. I mean, they're creating an entire giga castle for you to explore, and they want you to do that seamlessly without load screens, at least in theory. They have to come up with some way for combat to be engaging and also not tedious or repetitive over the course of a, by some accounts, 60 to 70 hour campaign. And beyond all of that, they just simply have to live up to the hype. There's a lot of people that have always wanted a Hogwarts game that is high quality, that is polished, that's refined, that's fun, and that also offers a pretty expansive experience for them to enjoy. And this game seems to be presenting that very experience to them. And so the expectations and hype is very high. And even amazing games struggle to live up to the hype. Even some of the best games ever made disappointed some people because the hype got out of control. And so the question really is, at the end of the day, whether or not Hogwarts Legacy can actually live up to that hype for the average player. And I went into this game highly critical, highly skeptical. They've got to prove it to me. They've got to convince me that this actually is what they're claiming it is. And I'll be real with you right here, right now. I'm going to call it like it is. I'm not going to say anything I don't believe, because what use is my word at that point? I am not joking when I say that this is far, far better than I could have possibly imagined. Like, there's problems I've noticed. Of course, we're very, very early in, so it's likely that they fix most of the stuff that I'm already talking about. Not just like by the time the game launches with patches and stuff, but also just in terms of gameplay systems and structures. We're just getting started at this point. I am so blown away at what this team has been able to pull off. The world exploration is far better than it has any right to be, with little elements such as these field guide pages that encourage you to look behind every nook and cranny, that encourage you to run around looking for little tidbits. Very similar to the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. It's something that they definitely got inspiration from, and they implemented it well. There's things constantly to interact with to keep engagement high as you explore. Just like that, I was running along, I see that bag, I grab it and pick it up, and then I move over here, and then there's a narrative moments and little tidbits that catch your attention. It's not the sort of Ubisoft open world syndrome where they just sprinkle all this random stuff into the game for you to grab as like collectibles and collectathons. There's actual moments like this where you're pausing to be like, what is he talking about? What is this guy doing? Oh, this is interesting. And it's just something in the world that you can interact with and listen to, or you can just keep running. Who cares? You don't have to listen to it. If you want to, awesome. But you can just move on if you don't want to listen to it. Then you can come over here. You see this little dot. I can hit square and I can interact with that object. And just there's a moment of interaction. They didn't have to put that there, but those little touches start to really increase the amount of dynamism in this world and keeps things pretty active. And you're constantly looking for new things like that to engage with. Little tidbits like that really add up quickly. But let's also talk about some little hiccups. I will not ignore them. Pop-in. Still a major issue. My understanding is that the day one patch has not gone out yet. I'm playing this, like I said, within the first few hours of early access, and I am seeing a good number of pop-ins, of far-off objects, of NPCs, of characters. There's weird things, you round corners and NPCs will pop in, or entire like meshes will pop in for various objects. So it's a common thing, and it doesn't seem to be something that they've fixed since the early access previews, but we do know a big day one patch is coming, and maybe that will fix it. My understanding is that's probably coming on the 10th now versus today, which I guess since it's after midnight, it's the 7th. But all told, it's not so aggressive that it's going to ruin the game, but it is distracting. And if you are the type of person like me that notices graphical hitches or graphical bugs and things like that, it might start to annoy you. But again, to be perfectly clear, that might actually be fixed by the time the full game comes out on the 10th for everybody. So this might not even be an issue. We just don't know because we don't have the day one patch as of this moment. But I think perhaps the most exceptional thing about Hogwarts Legacy so far that I've experienced is that this game is very easy to play. And I'm not saying that the difficulty's easy. I'm not saying that the combat's easy or lacking in challenge. What I mean is that it's easy to just play, to just turn off your brain and get lost in this world, to just explore and not worry about consequences, to just wander around and see what you find. I will say in the first 4 hours of the game, it's pretty narrative heavy. You're going to be moving from quest to quest to quest to quest, and they're going to keep you on pretty tight tracks to make sure that you're learning the spells you need to learn as you are going. And then the game will open up like this. And geez, this actually looks very, very good. This is on performance mode, by the way. This is not on a high fidelity mode. This is on performance mode. And it looks like this. That's pretty impressive. But anyway, I'm moving on. But my point is that this is a game that you are going to sit down to play, and you're going to just start running straight to go to your quest objective, and then you're going to see a cat, and you're going to stop, and you're going to pet him, and you're going to cuddle it. It's going to be cute, and then you're going to get up and be like, what was I doing? Oh yeah, running over there. And then you're going to run over there, you're going to get distracted again, and it's going to happen time and time and time and time again. One of my biggest pet peeves, though, is present in this game. I bashed Forspoken for having this problem, and so I have to bash this game for having it as well. Constant fade to blacks. It's insane. You'll start to notice it the moment you boot the game up and you start playing it. It's all over the place. whenever there's like a cutscene, it fades to black, and even within cutscenes, they fade to black between certain camera angles. Or when a new character comes in, they fade to black and then instantly fade back in. It's really, really weird. Like right here, I talk to this guy, fade to black, and like, I guess it's going into a cinematic, so that's not that big of a deal. But like when I was petting the cat, it also faded to black. Here, Jacob, do an instant replay of that. There was a fade to black when I went to pet the cat, but when I'm not petting the cat and I disengage from that, I guess, cinematic moment, if you want to call it that, I just, like, it didn't fade out. I really don't understand it. And it's a personal pet peeve. It might not bug you. It probably doesn't, because I'm weird for not liking it. To me, it's just like when a developer doesn't know what to do, or when an author or playwright or play director or TV show director or film director, when they don't know how to transition between two thoughts and two ideas and scenes, they just fade to black between them. It's the most lazy way of transitioning between two things, and I hate it. And it's all over the place in this game, so it's bugging me a little bit. But the fact that I still have overwhelmingly positive things to say about it at this point, I think is a testament to just how great it is that I can overlook like these really, really nitpicky, stupid things. But you see, the real positive to having a skeptical outlook towards games like this, and the reason that I've been encouraging people to be a little bit more skeptical and think a little bit more critically about this stuff, is because if this game didn't live up to the hype, you wouldn't end up being horribly disappointed and devastated. You would be like, well, there were some warning signs, but it's, it's a bummer. We'll just move on. Oh well. But because now we're being skeptical and the game looks to have lived up to the hype in a lot of ways, now we're all the more excited. Now we're all the more hyped, because it's like, holy crap, I was like pretty skeptical and critical of all of this stuff they showed off, and they still blew me away. I'm all the more impressed by what they've done here after being skeptical. So like, it in no way means that you don't get to enjoy the game. It just means that you, in many cases, enjoy it more. Like, it's weird. I'm sorry, I'm fighting dark mongrels that aren't putting up that much of a fight. Stupefy. Take him out, and then dark magic, whatever crap. Turn him into a whatever, goat, ram, whatever that is. That's pretty badass. Yeah, run away, bitch. And then he fades out. That's whatever. And listen, right now, I'm just wandering around in the outskirts of Hogsmeade. If I go back to Hogwarts itself by going up to this map option, and then I can go like here, I could select one of these areas, or if I want to go maybe right outside the gate and I want to go here, I'll just quick travel there because I want to check it out. I'm going to load in real quick. PS5 load times built different. There we go. And we are in the castle itself. You see, if we go out this door, not that door, this door, you can see the courtyard for Hogwarts. And then if I go in, I can go up the stairs and I can just start exploring the castle to my heart's content and have a wonderful time while doing it. And when they say that they've recreated this castle completely, they are not joking. The entire thing has been redone from scratch, and it's pretty impressive what they've managed to do here. I mean, it really is a one-to-one recreation of this whole castle. It's ridiculous. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And like, I don't even know where I am right now, but I'm having a good time. I'm just exploring. Boom. And I'm having a wonderful go of it. It's, again, extremely easy to get lost. One frustration I do have, again, beyond like the fade to blacks and all the other random stuff, is there is a really tight FOV that you cannot change on console. I think somebody in our stream today in chat said that you could customize the FOV on PC. I don't know if that's the case myself, because I haven't actually gotten the PC version of the game up yet. It doesn't release for another like 7 hours from now. So I don't know what the PC version is like, but hopefully you can increase the FOV, because this FOV is so tight that when you're rounding some of these corners, it's really tough to even see what's going on. It's just not very practical. So hopefully they can change that. But other than that, exploration within the castle is awesome. You noticed I've turned off the mini-map entirely. You can actually do that in the menus. So if you want to just have a more organic explorative experience, you can do that. And I've had a great time while doing it. Basically, you can turn off the mini-map and then you can still select waypoints like this, but with a simple press up on the D-pad, it creates this little trail leading you to where you need to go. So you don't have to be staring at a mini-map while you explore. Your eyes can instead be on all of the other stuff in the castle that they've spent so much time and effort putting together. You don't need to think about staring at the mini-map at all. You can just look at all of the wonderful sights that they've put together here. All the crazy people that are running around doing stuff. And the Great Hall. It's just everything you were hoping for. And like I said, there's a lot of little secrets to be found and reasons to keep exploring. And if you know where to look and you know what you're looking for, you can find a lot of it. And this is going to be a game that I think a lot of people are going to have fun running around and just ticking away at for the completionists and those looking for the platinums. There's lots to discover, lots to look at, and yeah, I mean, the game is just freaking massive. It's ridiculous. And you know what? I really just have to hand it to Avalanche and to Portkey Games. This was an extremely difficult game to pull off, and you guys seem to have done it. Now, does this mean the narrative's going to be amazing? Does this mean that, like, there aren't going to be problems? Does this mean it's not going to get, like, repetitive over time? Not necessarily. I'm sure there's going to be more issues as I continue playing, but as of right now, having just started it, my first impressions are very, very positive. And that doesn't always happen. In fact, a lot of the time it doesn't happen, and I end up getting more into a game after I've put 10, 20 hours into it. A lot of games within the first 45 minutes, you kind of know if it sucks, and you don't need to see much more after that. What was it? Was that the owl? I think that was the owl that was like freaking out. Yeah. But anyway. What was I saying? But anyway, what I'm saying is that I'm really enjoying this game so far, and my first impressions are so positive that I would recommend that you go and give it a shot if you're somebody who's been interested in this game, and if you don't want things spoiled for you, because almost without a doubt, there will be spoilers leaking all over the place for the story, for the characters, and for gameplay beats the very moment that this game comes out, because everybody is already kind of acting in bad faith with it for various reasons. So if this is something you've been interested in, I would not leave any possibility of somebody coming along and ruining the game for you. So that's kind of my overarching thoughts. I can't wait to keep playing this. I'm going to be finishing this over the course of the next 3 days, and I cannot wait. It's going to be a long week, but I'm very much excited for it. And I will be having my wife, Nikki, actually help me as I play this, because she's going to be playing with a different house affiliation, and we're going to test to see if two characters actually have different experiences and different quests available to them and stuff like that. So we're going to do a little testing and stuff. It's going to be fun. But until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking out my live channel as well. Luke Stevens Live in the search bar. I'm possibly live at the very moment that this video is being watched by you. So if you're interested in checking it out, go check out my live channel. Live stream clips, highlights, pretty much any video that doesn't fit on this main channel, I just put up there. And so it's a great place for more content if you're interested. But until the next time I see you, much love. I'm so tired. I was going to say something else and I already forgot. So much love. I'll see you in the next one. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.